Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight, you're going to have to bear with me for a while, guys. I'm in pain. A lot of it too. I apologize for missing out on our stream today. I was supposed to stream, but obviously my gym partner has been on a weird schedule lately, so we've been mixing our lifting days up, and some of those lifting days have been ending up on Wednesdays, which has started to cause some problems. And today is a perfect example. So I ended up either tearing or a very severe pull of my lower abdominal on the right side. And it sucks. Needless to say, it sucks. I don't recommend it. Basically, it's gonna require me to stay away from the gym for several weeks probably to let it heal up, and I just don't feel like streaming Legends right now because I know how crazy I get in terms of how much I get. I don't know how to say it. You guys know I get upset. I get really animated playing Legends, so I need to try to keep that to a minimum right now. The worst part about it right now for me is getting down and getting up. There's some other ones in there too, but basically you don't realize just how much you use your abdominals for everything, okay? One of those things is how you control your voice. I know. Crazy concept. That's why my voice sounds a little weird right now, because I can't like project myself the way I normally do, because every time I tighten my abdominals to like really push that voice out there, it's like, nope, you don't want to do that. And you're right, I don't. Now here, we're going to be in the linen. We haven't taken the linen out for a long time. Now, why do I not take the linen out, guys? There's got to be a reason, right? Well, one is the proliferation of HE spam, which we will see in this video. And the other is the fact that this is the tier 7 equivalent of an easy button, okay? This thing is disgustingly good. It just is. There's probably no better ship at tier 7, and that's me being generous, but also serious. Like, this ship is really, really good. Now, unfortunately, the guy that spawns next to us here in this cruiser, not going to be useful at all. The guy that spawns in the Lightning is going to be at least somewhat useful. The carrier is not going to spot a dang thing on this side of the map, which is highly unfortunate. Now, we get spotted here by their destroyer. I get a shot out, hoping to slap the Talid. But unfortunately, he's paying attention and slows down and turns towards us, so all of our shells miss. Now, we know that their Fletcher's here. We know their Belfast is here. We know their Talin is here. That's 2 radar cruisers on their team ready to kill our Lightning. Needless to say, he can't stick around and sit in the base because he'll probably end up dead real quick. We also know that there's a Carachola over here. We know that there's a Hawke over here. I'm not too particularly worried about either of those, but the combined firepower of 5 ships against me doesn't feel like good odds. So we start to turn away, get into a kiting position. Now, I don't play the linen a lot, right? Because A, it's too easy, and B, it's just one of those ships that, I'm not a big fan of having limited damage cons, especially in an environment where everybody has freaking HE loaded. And there, I thought I aimed far enough to the bow so that I could overmatch, because I know that the Hawke has, like, no armor, right? But I did end up hitting his belt armor and ricocheting 5 shells, which is obnoxious. Now here, we're going to be in a pretty solid position to put a hurting on this Hawke. And again, he's literally bow tanking. This is like prime, I'm going to f*** up a Hawke, right? And the game is just like, nope, sorry, can't have it. And it was at this point I started getting a little bit frustrated. And then I noticed what my cruiser is doing. My cruiser has went full I quit mode. That's what I call it. It's like, I'm in a Surrey. I can't be bothered to do anything smart. I'm just going to charge straight in and die immediately. So, yeah, watch his health. Ouch. As we over-angle, coming around. We're trying to put ourselves in a position where we can get away from these HE spammers, but there's just not a whole lot I can do about it. They get to sit behind their islands and just murder us with impunity. And the limited damage controls are a problem. Now, finally our guns get turned around. The Hawke, again, still begging for it. All I gotta get, oh my god, we finally got the accuracy, and there it is. Citadel straight through the bow, but he does get a pretty decent shot back at us. I gotta be careful not to go full broadside, because this is still a Russian battleship. If you go broadside, you die. However, the enemy is going to start making some incredibly stupid plays. And this is this kind of stuff that just makes you go, okay, I understand now why sometimes an entire side can be held up by one person. This is exactly how. Like, again, all of my shells go right to the belt armor of that Hawke, and he gets very lucky to get away with it. I need to aim a little bit higher, I think, when I'm shooting at the Hawke at these angles, because that's the second time that we've ricocheted 5 shells off of the Hawke's belt. But, again, we're in a kiting position. We got HE spammers out there. We got 2 battleships here that are shooting at us. The Fletcher has put himself in a position to potentially be taken out. The enemy mines has already gotten a clear sky, which is kind of impressive. But what happens next can only be described as a sudden rush to the brain. These guys just get tired of, like, shooting at me. And I don't understand it. Like, and the Hawke does the one thing that you cannot do in a Hawke. And that is just turn broadside to anything that has AP loaded. You can't do it. So, Lennon, would you kindly demonstrate for this Hawke what happens if you go full broadside in a Hawke to anything, especially a battleship, that has armor piercing loaded? Wait for it. Oh my god, that accuracy is disgusting. Bonk. Yeah. That should have been Dev Strike number 1, but I guess he had just enough below half of his hit points to keep us from getting a Dev Strike medal. But yeah, you can't do that. Why do people do that? Like, I understand you don't want to chase the kite, but you can't go broadside to him in a ship that's going to get Dev Struck. Now here, I don't really have a choice. I'm going to use my damage con on a single fire, which is dangerous, obviously. I'm also going to start turning in, which is extremely dangerous, because as we just demonstrated, going broadside to anything that's got armor piercing loaded is bad idea. Especially in a ship like the Hawke, or in this case, the Lenin. And Caracciolo gets a Citadel. Fortunately for us, it was only 1. And so we're going to go ahead and put a round straight through the bow of his ship. And this is just demonstrating how disgusting this ship truly can be. We just survived a stupid amount of bullshit, right? And now the Caracciolo does exactly what the Hawke just did, which is, I'm tired of living, let me just go broadside to the overpowered monstrosity that is the Lenin. Well, let's see how that works out for you, Sunshine. Bonk. That would have been our second Dev Strike, but in this case, it's just our first. And so, real quickly, we just turned the entire tide of this battle for this side of the map. Now, I have been struggling to try to get some people to help on this side of the map. The destroyer has at least been in the neighborhood doing things. Our carrier has finally showed up. He gets a couple of torpedoes right down the pipe on the Tallinn, and Tallinn is just begging for it. Bow in, loving it, and look at that. Again, we just missed out, leaving him with just enough to get away. You gotta love it. But, unfortunately, not able to finish him off there. But he is low enough that even our destroyer should be able to easily take him out with an HE shot. Or the carrier could finish him off, however it ends up working. Doesn't really matter. We are going to get spotted by him in a moment. I do believe he radars us as we try to use the island to kind of shield us so that him and the Belfast don't get to sit there and bomb on us any longer, because we don't have any damage cons left, right? We've used them all. The Belfast actually sonars and radars. And here I look at the Belfast and I'm thinking, it says I can't make this shot, but I'm going to try it. And he speeds up and he's going to get out of the way of these, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I actually hit any of them. Nope, I lied. I did hit one for 1441. It's my favorite overpin number. But yeah, either way, we've turned this game completely around. We've completely shut this game down on this side of the map with just a few shots from this ridiculously strong battleship when somebody's dumb enough to give you a shot. Now here, I was hoping to hit the bow of this Tallinn and kill him, but the game says, nope. The edge of that island is closer than it may appear. So we ended up missing every one of those shells, which was so unfortunate. So unfortunate. But we're at 140,000 damage. We now have all the cap control. There's an Azuma coming my direction and a carrier coming my direction. Can we put ourselves in a position where we get another shot at potentially killing another ship? So I elect to go to the outside. We are going to have spotting, obviously, because there's only 3 people left, so they should be spottable. And with the Azuma coming my direction, and me being unspotted for so long, there's a good chance that I get a favorable angle to shoot at the Azuma. And we all know what happens if you've got at least 16-inch guns and you're shooting at the broadside of an Azuma, right? Like, we've demonstrated this. If you've got 16-inch guns, the only place that you really have to worry about shooting at Azuma is when it is bow tanking you and you shoot at the waterline. That is the only place that that thing has enough armor to stop you with 16-inch guns. Any other angle almost certainly leads to real bad day for Azuma. It's just the way it is. Been on the giving and receiving side of this, but look at us just go. We are like a shark right now, just stalking our prey. And this man is desperately trying to get to the border. He wants to use the border to get away, but unfortunately for him, we get the shot off just in time to stop the border from ever becoming a problem, because just as he hits the border, bonk. By the way, that is our second depth strike, and probably should have been a third, if we're being honest. That first shot on the Hawke should have been a depth strike, at least in my opinion. But, you know, we darn near ended up with 4 depth strikes in this match. Just think about it. We took the all of the health off the Hawke, right? Took all the health off the Talin there at the end. Like, those two could have been potential depth strikes. Obviously, they were both below half hit points, but basically, the amount of damage we did in a single salvo was almost enough to be depth strike territory. But just a little less, a little bit off. But 7 citadels, 49 hits, and we're gonna go ahead and celebrate now that we managed to once again survive the dumbest crap possible in the Linen, and then end up putting up an incredible game on top of it. And it was my first game of the night, so perfect. Perfect. This is why I don't play the Linen, because it's stupid. Top of the leaderboard, 2,622, base XP, 3 kills, 2 depth strikes, high caliber. You gotta love it. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you guys also, like, have ships that you know are just too good so you don't play them? Like, am I the only one that does that? I want to know. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.